Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, marriage is a contract. Not much different than any other contract. And if you don't believe me, just ask anyone who's ever been through a divorce. But marriage is much more complicated than a contract because there are the emotions that are involved with it. There are relationships between two families, and there is the ritual and ceremony and religious dogma that apply to marriage. But after all is said and done, it is a contract, and it's supposed to last a lifetime. But we live a whole lot longer than we used to. When the concept of marriage was first created, people lived around. If you lived to be 45 years old, you were doing pretty good. Now we take better care of ourselves, and advances in medicine allow us to live well into our 60s and beyond. Now, many marriages are doomed from the start. People often get married when they're very young, and the traits that drove their passion often drive them apart. And a lot of people get married before they're finished being single. I have worked with some comics who were married, but that didn't stop them from going out coochie hunting after the show, and very few of those marriages survived. And that kind of attitude is not just confined to show business. There are a lot of people, both men and women, who even though they're married are still kind of playing the field. But divorce is expensive and eventually draining. But about 40% of marriages end that way. So there is a price to be paid for being impulsive and for marrying too soon. But even the most stable marriages can be severely tested by time. I mean, people find it hard to plan ahead for 5 or 10 years. Who is able to plan ahead for 30, 40, 50 years? And even when both spouses are trying to do everything right, there is a real possibility that they just simply will outgrow each other or lose interest. So go ahead, get the rings, propose, have the ceremony, and sign the papers. But it's a good idea when you do that to start saving up for the divorce. Thanks for listening.